So let's do an inside view now, guys, of both trucks. And I will say right now, before we even get inside, that the Ram is definitely nicer than the Ford inside. All the extra stitching, materials, leather, all that stuff. It's definitely nicer. The Ford, they kept it pretty plain, more as a work truck. Steps are nicer. Both have power seats. What I will say right now with the Ford is, you see just these chrome little accents they have around the seats. I know it's nothing special, but Rams are completely plain plastic switches. You still have the leather and the wood grain and the memory and all your switches. Let's go inside and have a look here. One thing I'll say about the Ford is the ambient lighting around like the cup holders and under the seats. You can't really see, but I'll show you guys. At least they're real lights, and I'll show you how the Fords are. They're almost an afterthought too, the ambient lighting. It's in the doors on the Ford F-350. So the ambient lighting, they really did a nice job. All the uplifter switches are really nice. Now, I'll show you guys something right now that you can't get on the Ram, the 2019 Ram, or the new 2020 Chevy HD, and that is a panoramic sunroof. So when I went and bought this truck, no one had the panoramic sunroof, and they still don't. Ram has the power steps now, which they didn't have when I bought this F-350. But now they do. But the 2020 Duramax still doesn't come with folding steps, side steps, power deploying side steps, they actually call it. So yes, this is the Ram, or this is the Ford F-350 with the panoramic sunroof. You can't get it in any 1 ton or 3/4 ton truck. It does not have any panoramic sunroofs. So that was something the Ford had back a year ago or 8 months ago when I bought this, before the new HDs and Rams came out. It had a panoramic sunroof, and it also had the power deploying running boards, which none of them have. The Ram have now, but it didn't have. The 2018 Ram didn't have. And the 2020 new HD Chevy Duramax GM still doesn't have power deploying running boards. The other thing that none of the trucks have that this has is they all have the power pedals, and they all have the power tailgate now. But only the Ford has the power tilt steering and telescoping steering wheel, in and out, tilt and tilt. Still, the 2019 Limited, it's manual, and so is the 2020 Chevy. They're still manual with the lever, and this is all power. So you can see in, out, in, out, up, down. They're all like that. The only one like that is the Ford. And then they all have the power pedals. They all have the tailgate. I know when I looked at the 2019 GMC when I bought this, you had to come here to turn the bed lights on. There was no lights in the bed. But now I don't know if the 2020 GM is different. I'll have to double check that. So then you got that. You got your side lights on your mirrors. You got lights on your mirrors that you can turn on and off. And that's just for seeing it, visibility. You got the full camera system around. I'm not going to get too in depth with all that stuff. I'm sure you guys have seen it. But the Ford Super Duty is definitely a lot plainer inside. The materials aren't as nice. It still has the leather on the dash and everything, but it's a little bit more plastic, and the leather isn't nearly as nice. And the stitching on the seats in the Ram and all that stuff, the Ram is nice. You guys will see the Ram is very nice. I do like the Chevy up here, or the Ford up here, sorry guys, with the uplifter switches. That's nice. You got your rear window switch here. Of course, I don't have the truck on, but yeah, you got all that. And then there's your sunroof, the panoramic sunroof. You gotta love, only on a Ford, people. So the panoramic sunroof and the power tilting steering and telescoping steering push button is only available in a Ford F-350. You cannot get it in a Dodge, and you cannot get either of those in a Duramax. I guarantee you guys. So you got the 110 switch. You got a 110 switch in the back. Ram has that. You got the double glove boxes. Ram has that, and I'm sure the Chevy has that. You got the Bang & Olufsen sound system. Sound system's good in here. Nothing like that Ram. Wait till you guys go see that Ram. You got your power brake controller, your push button start. It's pretty dark in here, guys. I could probably turn some lights on, would help, hey? And then you got your, you know, your USB plugs in there. And this is kind of a nice, you can switch this over to have more cup holders. What I do like is the ambient lighting. Again, guys, as you can see, they have a cool little cubby hole here for your key. A lot of people don't know about that. So that's kind of nice if you want to leave your key in there, because I'll show you guys on the outside, Ford's the only people that still have a key code to get in your car, so you don't have to have your keys with you. So that's cool. I will say one thing about this Ford, after driving both, I find the seats are a little bit more comfortable in here in the Super Duty than the Ford. The seats are nicer in the Ram, but they're not as comfortable as the Super Duties. The glove box is very plain. It's just big. There's more plugs, more stuff. Pretty plain, comparable. So let's shut these lights off. We'll kill our battery here. So, but we got the rear sliding window and the panoramic sunroof. And then, of course, like I said, you guys got your keypad here. So like I said, you don't have to have your keys. You can leave your keys in your vehicle, which no other manufacturer does that. It's kind of an odd thing. Back into the back, you really got, I don't know if I can fold this right now. Probably got to go to that side. No. So you got this nice under storage box. So that's great. You can put all your stuff in there and then fold the seat down and lock it. So then you got a nice flat floor. You got your 110 back here and your cigarette lighter. You got heated seats in the back. Now that's another thing. When I bought this Ford and I shopped at the Ram and the Chevy dealer back in December of 2018, this 2019 F-350 was the only one of the big three that had power heated rear seats. The Ram does now, and I'm not sure on the 2020 Chevy. Please leave some comments below. I haven't actually seen the 2020s full in-depth up close. I have seen them, but I haven't gone through them completely. But I know the new Ram, it does. But back when I bought this truck, rear heated seats, panoramic sunroof, and power tilt steering and telescoping steering, and folding running boards. This truck was the only one, so that's why I have a F-350. Now the Ram has all that stuff except for the panoramic sunroof and the power tilt steering, telescoping steering. You guys will see. So the back is very plain. I like it's nice and big. Seats fold down. They look good. Just give me a sec here, guys. Seats fold down. One thing I'll say, seat's been folded up for a while. One thing I'll say about the Ford is at least the armrest when you sit in the back doesn't have cup holders in it. The Chevys and the Rams, they put the cup holders right in the armrest, so your arm is on cup holders. At least the Ford has thought to make them slide out. You can put them away. You got more cup holders up here if you need them. But that's one thing I like is you don't have cup holders for an armrest, which most trucks do. So that's that. But there's nothing like the room in here like there is in that mega cab. You guys will see in a sec. It's unbelievable. So you got your jack. There's your 400 watt power inverter under the seat there, and your underbox storage, which is very handy. So that's cool to have. And there's dividers in there, and you can flip out dividers and all that stuff. So that's pretty cool. Heated rear seats, you got to have the plug, all that stuff. It's good. So I think we've kind of pretty much gone over the Ford. Like I say, the bigger gas. Look at the size of this, guys. Now that's a Super Duty gas tank. But let's go inside. Door handles are nicer than the Fords, that's for sure. Like the painted, the little chrome accent. But this is where the Ram really shines. And anybody who knows anything about trucks knows that the Rams have the nicest interior, hands down. Guaranteed, man. Now, like I said, this truck wasn't available when I bought my 2019 Platinum in December of 2018. But if this was, there very well could be a Ram there, because the Cummins engine, can't go wrong. It's better than the Power Stroke. If you pop the hood, you can actually work on a Cummins where the Power Stroke's got hoses and everything. Maybe I'll show you guys later in the video, but it's just a mess under that hood. So you gotta like the Cummins. Now the AISIN 6-speed tranny, I don't know, it's probably very comparable to the 6-speed in the Ford. But if you are gonna get a Ram, get the high output Cummins with over 1,000 pounds-foot torque, sorry, and get the AISIN, because the regular Ram tranny, not the AISIN, is nothing but horror stories. So let's there's the Ram. The screen is unbelievable, guys. The screen, unbelievable. Just waiting for everything to fire up here. The steering wheel's turned over the thing. But inside, the leather, the material, the stitching, all the little accents, these metal accents, the screen. Let's see if we can get this screen on us. You can see, oh, everything's digital. Sorry guys, bad view of the gauges here, but you can switch all these little gauges in the corners and have everything you want. And the screen is unreal. So here's the screen for you guys. Locking diff. The stereo, unbelievable in here. It's like a 17 or 18 speaker Harman Kardon. Tweeters, speakers up here, center speaker, speakers in the doors, speakers in the ceiling, speakers back there, speakers everywhere, guys. I will say the stereo is hands down better than the Bang & Olufsen in the Ford. The Bang & Olufsen's a good stereo, but nothing like this Harman Kardon. This is the best stereo you can get in trucks and the best interior, guaranteed, guys. So if you like interior stitching, little knickknacks, every little finish and everything done to the T, then the Dodge is your truck. Okay, so yeah, we'll go through. I'm not going to go through this nav, but this screen is unbelievable. And you got your heated seats, heated steering wheel, ventilated seats, the same as the F-350 has all that. Heated steering wheel, heated seats, ventilated seats. But the F-350 has massaging seats and no massaging seats and no Rams or GM products. It's a bit of a gimmick, but they do work and they do feel good after a long car ride. So I don't mind the massaging seats. So only in a Ford you can get massaging seats as well. But the screen is unbelievable. It's got everything, and the camera system, the resolution, as you guys can see, is just, it's better than the Ford. This screen blows the Ford out. The interior is better. Little leathers on the shift handles, even on these grab handles, little wraps. It's unbelievable. But no panoramic sunroof. Only in a Ford you can get a panoramic sunroof. You got your tailgate here is over here. So in the Ford, it's down here, which is kind of better if you're outside the truck. You don't have to get in the truck to pop your tailgate. The rest of the stuff, your sunroof, your rear windows, all here. Nice LED lights. I don't see no accenting, right guys? There is some accenting, which I'll show you, like there's some lights under the seats and stuff, but you can see they're kind of an afterthought. I'll show you guys, just like I showed you in the Ford. But no accenting in the cup holders, anything like that. It is very nice in here though. This all slides. You got your wireless charger, CD player, you got your plug down here. This slides, there's lots of room. You gotta love this limited badge and all this stitching. And they got this a bunch of geometry and fraction, decimal. It's kind of handy if you're a tradesman. And it's just a nice big area in here though. So gotta like that, and the cup holders, and this mega cab is unbelievable, guys. So I can't wait to show you this mega cab. And the seats, you can see the stitch is nice. It's nice. The Ram, the Limited, is nice inside. It really is. The steering wheel, this little touch on the steering wheel here is beautiful. Nice leather wrap steering wheel. All your steering wheel controls for everything, same as the Ford, but this little detail here is really nice, and all the stitching, push button start, the same. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful, guys. Well done by Ram. Well done. Well done. So let's see, we'll shut this off here and just turn it back to So yeah, that's the inside, I think, but just little details. So like you guys can see here, sorry, we'll shut that up here. It's got the power pedals here, which the Ford has, but look at this, it's still manual steering up and down, no telescoping, where the Ford is all power. And I believe the 2020 GM is still manual too. So, you know, back when you buy things, these are little things that you notice. So it's still got the memory seats like the Ford, all the handle, like the stitching is unbelievable, guys. The little chrome accents, right? But then you go to the seats, look at these these buttons are very plastic, plain, same in a base, you know, base truck, where the Ford Platinum has nice little chrome accenting. Just everything's a little bit different. You got nice little chrome sills here, but look how skinny the doors are on the Ram. Like, it's really skinny, and the sills and everything compared to the Ford. I'll go back and show you guys that. But the leather and the inlays, it's beauty. It's a beauty. The steering wheel, that screen, all that, it's a beauty. It's a beauty. And this mega cab is unbelievable. You can recline these seats. First of all, guys, I'll fold them down for you. You got about freaking, I don't know, 10 inches, almost a goddamn foot wide in here, foot deep, and you got compartments back here and everything. But what's amazing about this mega cab, like if you have to haul people, if you're hauling people, a cruise, you know, you want this mega cab because you can recline these seats. Just hold on for a sec, guys. Let me try to do it here for you. It's easier to get in, but you can see it's already reclined. But let's recline it all the way. Look at the stitching on the back. You know, stitching, it's same in the back. They have this cutout here for your headroom. But yeah, no panoramic sunroof, but they got speakers in here and they got a cutout. You can see, look at the seat, folds right back, and so does that seat. And so the mega cab is nice for a cruise. Here's your thing, what I was talking about. Here's your center console, but there's cup holders in there, so your arms on cup holders. Where on the Ford, the cup holder slid out and there was still an armrest. So like I said, I'm not too fussy about cup holder armrests, but it is what it is. But the reclining of this mega cab, like, oh my god, guys, you can just recline and go to bed back here. Like, there's more room back here than there is in the front. And again, little leather finishes on the grab handles, you know, little billet aluminum looking door lock doodads, right? Can't get the name, guys, but you know what I mean. Little finishes. Ram really went out. Again, so the crew cab is amazing. And like I said, should have a bigger gas. There, the step goes up, and you can see no chrome. The Ford has a chrome strip all the way along the step. Here on the Ford, you can see the bottom of the, you know, the rivets and the where they crimp all the panels together. You got exposed bolts and crimps, and you can see the welds and everything, where I'll show you guys on the Ford, you can't see any of that stuff. I don't know what else to talk about, guys. We've kind of gone over everything. The crew cab is unbelievable. If you're hauling people and you're a people hauler, you want this crew cab, man. The people in the back are in serious luxury. This Harman Kardon stereo, look at this stuff. Unbelievable. The interior is unbelievable. So just missing a panoramic sunroof, the power tilting steering wheel, tilting and telescoping steering wheel, and a couple other little things, but the interior can't be beat. GM didn't really change their interior that much from 2019 to 20, so that's kind of a sad. They redid the whole truck, but the interior looks pretty much the same. This blue, they go and chalk up all the new vehicles. But yeah, you gotta like this Limited, man. These seats, genuine leather, and you know, I love this chrome here and this screen. It's just unreal, and it's all carpeted in here. and it's nice. Nice. So one thing I will show you guys is the under the seat, the ambient lighting here. Let's see if I can, let's go to the other side. Again, the door sills are very skinny, and the doors seem very skinny. And one other thing I'll show you guys when we get down to the other side is first I'll show you the ambient lighting. Let's see, I probably gotta hit the unlock or something. Let's see if we can get this thing to work here. Here, let's try to turn on the truck here. Sorry guys for this video, but let's see if we can get get some lights on this thing. The Ford, they kind of come on automatically. Oh, when I got out before, I could see lights under the seat, but they were just kind of tie strapped. Or at least the Ford, it looked like they were actually trying to install them. They weren't an afterthought. Let's see, maybe we get this thing to run, we get some lights. No. But they're under there, but they're kind of like an afterthought compared to the Ford. Anyways, not a big deal, not a big deal. Just going over all the little shit. Trying to make a very in detailed video for you guys on everything. One thing I will show you, like I said, the Ford, I find the seats just a little bit more comfortable in the Ford. And like I said, the Ford has massaging seats. You can't get that in no GM or Ram. And you can't. So the other thing is if you guys look at this windshield, the rake or the slope or whatever you want to say, it's quite pronounced compared to the Ford, and it makes this windshield a lot skinnier. Like, it's not as much visibility, and you don't feel like you have as much room and headroom. The Ford cab in the front, not in the back, not the mega cab, but in the front, there's way more space. It feels, the windows seem higher. There's the cutout in the Ford for the mirrors. The windshield seems bigger. You see this giant plastic, I don't know what it is, the GPS or the monitoring, crash collision monitoring, all that stuff. Look at the size of this. It like blocks half the windshield. In the Ford, the visibility and the space, it just is more roomy. So that's one thing I wanted to show you guys. But hands down, the materials and the fit and finish and the screen and the steering wheel and all that kind of extra little details is just unbelievable. Ram really knocked it out of the park on the interior, I must say. Yeah, here's your memory. It's your folding mirrors. Let's see if I can get them to fold for you guys. Yeah, so they fold, but they don't extend in and out, right? So, Ford definitely has nicer mirrors. Gotta give it to Ford on the mirrors. Give it to Ford on the mirrors.